Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City of Canning's May 2025 Ordinary Council meeting, which I declare open now at precisely 6:01 p.m. Apologies for the slightly late opening. We commence, of course, by acknowledging the Whaleback people, the traditional custodians of the land. We also pay our respects to their elders, both past and present. May I ask all present to please ensure that your mobile phones are turned off or at least on silent for the duration of the meeting. The meeting is also being live streamed via the city's YouTube channel. Council meetings are public meetings, and any information you shall provide tonight will be recorded and may be publicly accessible. The council chambers are not a parliament, and parliamentary privilege does not apply. Elected members and staff risk being held personally liable if their comments are defamatory or breach any duty of confidentiality. Statements made during council meetings are solely those of the person making them, and nothing expressed at a council meeting can be attributed to the city unless it is adopted by a resolution of council. Elected members and employees must disclose any financial proximity or partiality interest they may have in an item on the agenda and declare the interest at the commencement of the meeting or at the latest when the item is about to be discussed. And financial proximity and impartiality interests are to be disclosed in accordance with the provisions of the Local Government Act. Elected members disclosing a financial or proximity interest must not participate in that part of a briefing relating to their interest and must leave the meeting for the duration of the item. The confirmed minutes of a council meeting are the official record of that meeting. Verbatim minutes are not required. Nevertheless, the city does publish a full recording of the meeting. And recordings of meetings must not be copied, republished or reproduced without the city's express permission. At item 2, attendance, we do have apologies this evening from Councillor Kunz and also Councillor Hearn. They're unable to be with us this evening. We have an approved leave of absence from Councillor Tucek, who has an approved leave of absence from the 1st of May through to the 30th of June, which leaves 7 of us tonight in the chamber. Disclosures of interest at item 3. CEO, do we have any disclosures of interest?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I've received no declarations of interest either of a financial or partiality nature for tonight's meeting.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Announcements by the presiding member at item 4. There are none. Reports of delegates. Does any elected member wish to present a delegate report this evening? No. Thank you. We shall move on. Public time from the public gallery. I don't think we have any questions tonight from the public gallery. So I don't propose to open or close. We shall move on then to item 7, which will be the confirmation of minutes. The ordinary council meeting held back on the 8th of April 2025. The officer's recommendation is on screen. It also appears on page 2 of tonight's agenda. Can I have a mover, please, for the adoption of minutes? Councillor Secon, thank you. A seconder. Councillor Rodriguez, thank you. All in favour? Any moment now. And one more. Thank you.
The motion for the confirmation of previous minutes has been carried unanimously with all 7 in favour.
Thank you, Governance. We move on to item 8, which is the receiving of petitions, presentations and deputations. At item 8.1, petitions, we do have a petition this evening. The petition is numbered PET 002 of 25, the title of it being Residents of Bridge Street, I take it that's Wilson, request a pedestrian pathway on Upnor Street and Bridge Street, Wilson. The officer's recommendation is that the petition, which has been received, be received by council and be referred to the Chief Executive Officer for action. And the petition has been received from Jennifer Owen of Wilson. The recommendation, councillors, is on screen and also appears on page 3. Can I have a mover for that? Deputy Mayor Bain, thank you. And the seconder is Councillor Page. Thank you, councillors. Councillor Bain, did you wish to speak to the item at all? It's simply that the matter be referred to the CEO.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Mayor. Simply that the recommendation be approved and supported. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Page, I propose we put the matter through to the vote. Thank you, councillors.
Motion on the petition has been carried unanimously with all 7 in favour.
Thank you. The matter has been carried and the item will be referred to the CEO for action. At item 8.2, presentations, there are none. Item 8.3, deputations, there are none. Applications for leave of absence at item 9. I've died. No, I'm here. I'm back. I'm live. There are no applications for leave of absence this evening. Item 10, questions by members, of which due notice has been given. None have been received. Item 12, items brought forward. There are none. Reports of committee meetings at item 12. Similarly, there are none. The first of the reports are from the Office of the CEO. There are none from that directorate. Item 13.2, the Directorate of Ms Lorraine Driscoll, the Director of Corporate and Commercial. The first item, which requires an absolute majority, councillors, which was 6 of the 7 present, is the monthly financial report for March 2025. It's item CC 008 of 25. The item appears on page 6 of tonight's agenda, is also on screen. I'd be pleased to move that from the chair if I can have a seconder. That would be the Deputy Mayor. I support the officer's recommendation. I have nothing to add to it. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I too support the officer's recommendation and look forward to reading the results of the consultation regarding Bridgeway Park Half Basketball Court. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to ask a question or speak against the item? Thank you, councillors. We shall put it to the vote.
Motion CC 00825 has been carried by absolute majority with all 7 in favour.
Thank you. We move to item CC 009 of 25, the report title being Proposed Differential Rating for 2025-2026. The officer's recommendation is on screen. The recommendation also appears on page 52 of the agenda. It requires council to advertise the differential rate. Can I have a mover, please, for that item? That would be Councillor Singh. Thank you, Councillor Singh. And a seconder, please. Deputy Mayor Mark Bain. Councillor Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I speak in strong opposition of the proposed 6.85% increase in rates. This proposal is not just a number on the piece of paper. It is a reflection of this council's persistent disregard for the financial burdens faced by our community. It is a testament to a lack of motivation to provide much-needed relief to our ratepayers. Let us take a moment to reflect on our recent history. Exactly 4 years ago, on 20th of May 2021, this council proposed a rate increase of 5.6% during a time when interest rates and cost pressures were at their lowest. RBA interest at that time was 0.10%, and today it's 3.85%. And this council proposed a rate increase of 5.6% during a time when the interest rates were low. Since then, we have seen a consistent pattern of rate hikes year after year. This pattern of increased rates, even as the world around us has shifted dramatically, demonstrates a troubling tendency that we are good at finding reasons to raise rates than we are at seeking solutions to alleviate the financial strain on our residents. Consider the budget adopted on 27th of June 2023. The city received only 4.1 million in operating grants, and we increased the rates by 4.65%. Fast forward to this year, we are receiving an impressive 19.8 million in state and federal funding, almost 5 times more. And yet, instead of passing on these benefits of this increased funding to our ratepayers, we are proposing an even steeper rate increase of 6.85%. This is not justifiable, it is not fair. and it is certainly not in the best interest of our community. At a time when cost of living pressures are at their highest levels, our residents deserve relief, not additional financial burdens. Moreover, maintaining our status as the lowest rating council is not just a badge of honor. It is a strategic advantage. It attracts businesses and residents to our city, fostering economic growth and community development. By keeping our rates low, we create an environment that is conducive to prosperity and opportunity for all. In conclusion, I urge this council to reconsider the proposed rate increase. Let us prioritize the well-being of our residents and seize the opportunity to provide them with the relief they so desperately need. Let us demonstrate that we are a council that listens, that cares, and that acts in the best interests of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I will be supporting the officer's recommendation, but I agree with Councillor Singh that 6.85% is too high. And I did ask the question of the CEO at the AB if the city will be working in the background between now and the special council meeting in July to reduce that particular percentage, and he confirmed that the city will be doing that. So I trust the team, and I know they'll be putting in great effort to reduce that, and I'm happy to revisit the proposed rate increase at the time of the special council meeting in July and consider it then. But I know that in the meantime, the city will put in great effort to exercise rate restraint and cost containment as well as part of its annual budget preparations. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor, and thank you, Councillor Singh. Look, I'll just say a few quick words, Councillor, if you don't mind, only that I appreciate the commentary provided by the Deputy Mayor, and I know that the city and its executive have assured us that they will use every lever at their disposal to ensure that the rate that we settle on will be, we would hope, significantly lower than the 6.8 being advertised, and that would be the intention. We will be looking for savings. Council will be workshopping this budget behind closed doors. We'll be working very hard in the next month or so to arrive at some figures that will provide some relief. But I would make the point that the City of Canning, thankfully, is a really growing city. We are a growing city. Our population is growing. People's expectations grow with that. We need to be able to invest in maintaining the assets we have, providing the lifestyle and amenity that people not only demand, but that they deserve. I'm really proud that in the last couple of years, people are really seeing, possibly for the first time in a long time, they're actually able to see and feel where their rates are being spent. We have spent an incredible amount of money in new parks and playgrounds, and especially in playgrounds, and the sort of amenity that really improves the lifestyle of young families. And we're seeing investment in the Intercultural Centre in Bentley and in areas of this city that we haven't previously invested in. I'm immensely proud that we've turned our mind to those areas, Queen's Park and Bentley and East Cannington and Cannington, and we're now investing in areas that perhaps we hadn't before. Metronet and the multi-billion-dollar investment by the state government in all the infrastructure in and around that provides us with real uplift here as a council, and we're going to see great growth in areas like Queen's Park and around that station that have struggled for decades, for half a century. So I don't agree that the proposed rate is a rate hike, certainly an increase, but I know that we as a council and as an executive working together will do everything we can to ensure that the advertised rate will be no higher and hopefully lower than what we're advertising tonight. And I think this council, compared to all other councils, and particularly those of our near neighbours, provides incredible value for money. We are a low rating council, but that is not a badge of honour for a council. We need to be providing a sustainable level of investment in all the things that make up a big council, and we are a big council. It just takes a lot of time and effort to do that, and the failings at some of our leisure plexes that have been brought to our attention more often than not by residents shows us that the standard of the investment in some of those facilities is not in keeping with the standards expected of us, of our residents, and we need to invest more heavily in there. So I'm really buoyed by tonight. It's just we're only advertising the rate. That's all we're doing tonight is just agreeing to advertise it. Where it will settle in the next month or so, that'll be up to us. And we'll be working incredibly hard on behalf of our community to make sure it settles at a point that we're all comfortable with. Thank you. Did anyone else wish to speak before we put the item to the vote?
As a
I'm
mover,
not sure I've said anything that you could rebut, but you want to be really sure that you're rebutting it, because I'm not allowing you to make any further points. Yes, go ahead.
you can stop me, Mr. Mayor, if you feel like I'm not
You know I
rebutting.
will.
Thank you. Just a point raised by Deputy Mayor about the team and yourself about giving the benefits back to the community. The team definitely have done a great job, and that is shown in the financial health index, which improved from 54 in 2016 to 91 last year.
It's extraordinary, isn't it?
It's extraordinary, and that's actually more of a reason that our team has brought us from a very low point to a very high point.
You're making a new argument here that you didn't use in your...
I'm just
you can only rebut what was said.
I'm just rebutting that we are giving value back to our residents. Perhaps instead of giving more into services, we should consider giving back in terms of a rate relief. That's my point. Thank you.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you. Did anyone else? Oh, well, you've just closed debate. Thank you. Councillors, let's put the item to the vote.
Motion CC 00925 has been carried with 6 in favour, 1 voting against, and Councillor Singh voting against the motion.
Thank you, Karen. Appreciate that. We move to item CC 010 of 25, the title of the report being 33 to 37 Murray Road, Welshpool, Future Management Plan. The officer's recommendation is on screen, and it also appears on page 68 of tonight's agenda. Can I have a mover, please, for the item? Councillor Shen Sekon, thank you, and Councillor Singh was the seconder. Councillor Sekon.
I agree with the officer's recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Singh?
I agree with the officer recommendation.
Thank you. I'd only add that I too support the recommendation, only to add that I'm assured that those premises out there, the leaseholders that we have, that their contracts, their leases include provision that will allow some flexibility for the city. We don't know where we will be in 5 years' time or what the future holds, but the proposed recommendation will give the city some scope to fill out and lease out the remaining premises out there at Murray Road, and that will be a good thing for this council. Anyone else? Thanks you, councillors. We shall put the item to the vote. Thank you.
Motion CC 01025 has been carried with all 7 voting in favour.
Thank you. The next item is from the Directorate of Mr Graham Bride, the Director of Planning and Development. It's PD 004 of 25, the title of the report being Initiation of Scheme Amendment number 18 to Local Planning Scheme number 42, updating scheme text to introduce new short-term rental accommodation provisions. It seems quite straightforward. Just a mover, please, from the floor. Deputy Mayor, thank you. And that would be Councillor Joanne Page to second that. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Yes, I support the officer's recommendation, and noting that brings LPS 42 in line with state government regulations. I was also pleased to learn last week that the city requires a code of conduct be part of any management plan that applicants submit as part of their DA, which is good news. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Page, have you got anything further you'd like to add?
No, thank you. Nothing further to add. Thank you.
Thank you, councillors. Let's put that item to the vote.
Motion PD 00425 has been carried unanimously with all 7 in favour.
Thank you. The next item is PD 005 of 25. The report title is The Consideration of Road Names for New Roads Associated with the Bentley Redevelopment Project. The officer's recommendation is before you, council. It's on screen, well, as much of it as we can fit on the screen. It also appears on page 86 of the agenda. Thank you, councillors. Can I have a mover, please, for the item? That would be Councillor Singh. Thank you. And a seconder? Councillor Rodriguez, thank you. Councillor Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do not endorse these names for the Bentley area, and I would like to request Development WA to come up with some names which represents the multicultural society of Bentley, or at least the history of that area. Those names could be anything, but something specific to that area rather than these generic names. That's the only reason for not endorsing these. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Rodriguez.
I have nothing to add. I actually support the recommendation.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Rodriguez. I'd only add to that, look, I understand, I actually agree with Councillor Singh in relation to, you look through the list of names, I'm not sure they're greatly meaningful. Perhaps there's some issue with some of them. I'm not really sure. We go back to Development WA, who have assured us that there is a theme out there that they are sticking to. That's why they've chosen this name. If they send us another list, another 23 names, and we're not happy with that either, where do we go to? Because there's a committee that comes up with the names, we don't. So if they send us out another 23 and we don't like 16 of them, where do we go to from there? Can I ask Director Bright in relation to that? I do believe, am I right, Development WA have come back with good reason for this list of names. There is some sort of theme that they're working on. It may not be apparent to council, but they believe that there is a theme at foot here. Can I ask for a little bit more clarification around that?
Yeah, through you, Mayor. So on paragraph 12, they've obviously identified a number of themes, which are growth and progress, resilience and sustainability, connection and belonging, heritage and place, and sustainability and placemaking. So obviously they're working in the background on their estate theme as well, in terms of rebranding the Bentley Regeneration Project, which is in alignment with the road names that are being put forward as well. So that's the general thrust of what Dev WA are putting forward.
I think we have to ascribe to their judgment. Anyone else wish to speak on the item before we move it? Deputy Mayor. Deputy Mayor Payne.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a question in addition to yours to the city, Mr. Mayor. When does the city foresee an opportunity to bring the reserve register of road names to council for its consideration, where we might have the opportunity to put forward more appropriate road names that acknowledge the history of the city of Canning?
Director Bright.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, we've got about 13 road names on that register. We don't have too many new subdivisions which generate new road names. It's mainly around that East Cannington Queen's Park as that Town Planning Scheme 21, that guided scheme progresses. So we've got about 13 names, which at the moment, a lot of them relate to World War I veterans who passed away in the Great War. But certainly at any time, council can bring forward a refreshment of that list. It's not planned, it's not scheduled at this point in time, but certainly council can bring that forward, and we'd have to look at it as a project and bring those names forward. It can't really be the officers coming up with, has to be research. If we're bringing in that multicultural diversity, the naming guidelines, for example, require the appointment of a linguist to work with those particular language groups to make sure that when they're put into Australian English, they do resonate with those particular cultural groups as well. So there's a fair bit of work if that was progressed into the future, but certainly something that council can advocate for.
Thank you. Councillor Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just rebutting. To answer your question, I'm not proposing that we should give a list of names to WA. They are working on a theme. That theme seems like growth is one. All I'm requesting that they asked us for endorsement, And we, as a council, request WA to consider a theme specific to the area which represents Bentley rather than a generic theme which can represent the whole state. And that theme can be something specific to Bentley. Whatever those names are, that's not important as long as they show us that all these proposed names are specific or related to Bentley. That's it. That's the only request I'm proposing to put to Development WA. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. In the absence of anyone else wishing to speak, we shall put the matter to the vote. Thank you.
Motion CC 00925 has been carried with 6 in favour, with Councillor Singh voting against the motion.
Thank you, Governance. Item 13.4, Mr Warren Bowe is the Director of Infrastructure and Environment. This report is from his directorate. It's IE 007 of 25, the title being Redevelopment of Whaleback Golf Course, Phase 1. The officer's recommendation is on screen. Parts 1 and 2, it also appears on page 95 of tonight's agenda. Can I have a mover, please, for the item? Councillor Second, thank you. A seconder? Councillor Parkinson, thank you. Councillor Parkinson. Councillor Second.
I agree with the officer's recommendation.
Thank you. Councillor Parkinson.
I agree with the officer's recommendation. I think this type of investment is exactly the direction we should be going with future investments in this type of project. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak? Thank you, councillors. Let's put that item to the vote.
Motion IE 00725 has been carried unanimously with all 7 in favour.
Thank you. For the record, IE 008 of 25 has been withdrawn from the agenda. That'll be presented at the June ordinary council meeting. We move then on to IE 009 of 25, the report title being Award of Tender RFT 16/2024 Pumps and Bores. The recommendation is on page 109 and is on screen. Can I have a mover, please, for the motion? Councillor Page, did I see your hand move? Yeah, I did. Councillor Page, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Rodriguez. Councillor Page. Bores and pumps.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I support the officer's recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also support the officer's recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone wish to speak against the item? Thank you. We'll put the item to the vote.
Motion IE 00925 has been carried unanimously with all 7 in favour.
Thank you. Mr Gary Fisher is the Director of Customer and Community. His report is at item 7.5 on tonight's agenda. It's CO 002 of 25, the title being the Review of Access and Inclusion Policy AD 08. Can I have a mover, please, for that item? Councillor Page, was that you? Councillor Page, thank you. A seconder. Councillor Shen Second, thank you. Councillor Page.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I thought I'd nominate before someone else nominated me. Yes, I support the officer's recommendation.
Thank you. Councillor Second.
I too support the officer's recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone have a question or wish to speak against the item? Thank you. We shall put it to the vote.
Motion CO 00225 has been carried unanimously with all 7 in favour.
And at item 14, motions of which previous notice has been given, it's notice of motion 003 of 25, the report title being the Review of Policy LP09, Developer Funded Public Art. I've moved the item myself. Thank you. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Parkinson. Thank you. Councillors, I don't propose to speak on the item other than to say it's simply asking for a review to take place, and I think the matters referred to in the report, good give good reason to do so. I think it's always timely to bring back an item like this. There's no insinuation or suggestion that we should delete or repeal the policy that we have, but simply to tweak it to make it more meaningful and to make sure that it actually meets the objectives that council set out for it. So there's no rush with it. It'll be handled internally, but I think it's an opportunity for the city to review what we're doing and bring it back to council for discussion so we can ensure that the objectives of this policy are being met. Councillor Parkinson.
Support the nomination. Nothing further to add. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councillor Seek. Councillor Seek.
Just a question.
Councillor Singh, the Seek.
Just a question for you, Mr. Mayor. Point 2 of the notice of motion, that development applications made by charitable organizations who are registered charities with the Australian Charities and Not-for-Profit Commission for short-term and permanent accommodation. Do we need to include the for short-term and permanent accommodation? If we remove that part, it just increases the number of organizations which will get this benefit.
I take your point, but without needing to workshop it here, I would say that all we're doing tonight is asking it to go back to the city for consideration. So all of those matters will be considered. We probably don't need to play with it too much because the city is going to review every aspect of it. We're just saying, could you consider those following things? So even though we've suggested it, they might have a completely different view to that, which might be more in line with what you're suggesting tonight. So I'm not sure whether it actually restricts it or broadens it. It could do either, but I'm not sure if we really need to play around with it because the city's role now, if the motion is passed, is to consider all of the aspects of the review. I just listed a few for their consideration that they will probably focus on. So I feel comfortable with it. I wouldn't worry about it too much, but I take your point. Sorry? It's going to a SIB. And it's going to a SIB for discussion, so we can discuss it anyway. I'm not saying it'll be workshop, but certainly coming to a strategic issues briefing where we'll have an opportunity to have a look at the policy and decide on how we would like it to look. So you'll have that opportunity to mould it then. Councillors, anyone else wish to speak on the item before I close debate? Thank you. I don't propose to say any more. I'll put the item to the vote. Thank you.
Motion Nom 003-25 has been carried unanimously with all 7 in favour.
Thank you for your support, Council. We move on to item 15, which is urgent business. There is none tonight. Item 16, confidential matters. There are none on the agenda this evening. And at item 17, closure. There being no further business, I now declare the meeting closed, the time being 6:33 p.m. I'd like to thank everyone for their attendance this evening. Thank you for coming along. Thank you, Governors.